Hey, welcome to The Explainer. We're living in this world just swimming in data, right? So the big question is, how do you stop just treading water and actually start dominating all that uncertainty? Well, today we're going to crack open a book called The Statistical Strategist, which says it has the key. Let's dive in and see what's inside. Okay, picture this. You're a leader, you wake up, and boom, the data just hits you. First, it's the latest numbers from luxury stores right on your screen. And then, bam, an alert for today's deals pops up. Totally different, but it needs your attention now. At the exact same time, you've got the logistics team pinging you about returns and orders. I mean, the operational noise is just constant. Then, a brand new report on the smart home market lands in your inbox. Another thing you've got to track. And then, totally out of nowhere, there's some compliance update on medical care. It's just this non-stop, chaotic river of information, isn't it? All right, let's just hit pause for a second. If that felt a little chaotic, well, that's the point. That relentless storm of disconnected information, that's the daily reality for so many leaders today. It's this feeling of literally drowning in data. And that right there is the million-dollar question every single leader is asking themselves. With all this stuff flying at you, how on earth do you transform that pure noise into a powerful, winning strategy? But what if there's a different way? A new kind of strategy? A framework that's built not just to help you survive this data flood, but to actually harness its power? That's the solution we're going to look at. See, the big idea in The Statistical Strategist is that you don't have to pick a side between your gut instinct as a leader and the hard data. The real magic happens when you combine them, that art of leadership with the science of analytics. That's how you make decisions that aren't just bold, but are also precise and, actually future-proof. So what makes this approach any different from the hundreds of other business books on the shelf? Well, most of them give you these vague platitudes, right? This one aims for real actionable insights. And instead of treating data like it's some other department's problem, the whole idea is to build a bridge connecting analytics right to leadership. But here's the real game changer. It's not about reacting to uncertainty anymore. It's about flipping the script and turning uncertainty into your biggest opportunity. Okay, so what does that transformation actually feel like in the real world? What are the skills you'd actually master? Let's break down the core ideas. The book lays out this really clear 4-step path. First up, you learn to quantify uncertainty. This isn't just about saying something is risky. No, it's about being able to say, hey, based on our data, this project has a 60 to 70% probability of success. See the difference? Second, you get to forecast the future. And this is way more than just sales projections. We're talking about using trends to see what's coming around the corner, maybe a supply chain issue or a big shift in the job market. Third is optimize outcomes. You know how marketing uses A/B testing? Well, you'll learn to apply that same thinking to your internal operations to find those little wins that add up big. And finally, number 4, you'll figure out how to balance ethics with efficiency, using data not just to see the profit impact, but the human impact on your team, your customers, and your community. So the end game here, the ultimate goal, is to be able to look at all that chaos we saw at the beginning and find the hidden patterns that absolutely everyone else is missing. That's how you build a real, lasting competitive advantage and create an impact that truly matters. Now, a framework like this is only as good as the person who created it, right? So let's talk about the guide, the author behind these ideas. His name is Caspian, and he's really seen as a pioneer in this whole field of statistical strategy. His specialty is taking that super deep analytical stuff and blending it with that big picture strategic foresight. But the key thing is, he creates practical, usable frameworks for people making decisions in the real world. The whole point is to empower leaders to stop just reacting to all the volatility and actually start thriving in it. All right, let's pull all of this together. We've talked about the problem, drowning in data. We've seen the potential solution, a totally new kind of strategy. So now, what's left is for you to become that new kind of strategist. Really, it all comes down to this super powerful 3-part mantra. Instead of feeling like you're drowning, you lead with data. Instead of being paralyzed by all the noise, you decide with clarity. And when you have those two things, you win with strategy. It's a simple, powerful roadmap for anyone who's tired of the chaos. And who is this for? Well, it's for the leaders who are right there on the front lines, the executives, the entrepreneurs, the visionaries, all the people who know that just reacting to things isn't going to cut it anymore. It's for anyone who refuses to be caught off guard by whatever comes next. And that really just leaves one final big question for you to think about. Are you ready to become the strategist that the future is demanding? If that question hits home for you, then the book that inspired this whole explainer, The Statistical Strategist, is probably your next read. You can grab your copy today on Amazon. Thanks so much for tuning in.